What's up, everybody? Thunderbolts hits theaters this weekend, and so now it's time to look at how it connects to the upcoming Avengers movies, and of course, what the mystery asterisk ended up meaning. Let's dive in. Before we get into anything, I'm just going to do a quick recap so that we're all fresh on the movie, we're all on the same page, or at least we have a basic outline in our head for the story. It's all centered around Valentina scrambling to clean her not so popular activities with Oxcore, her company, and one of those is Project Sentry. That's what Yelena's mission is that we see in the trailer where she blows up the building. She's sent to clean up the mess, just like all of the characters in this movie are doing for Val. Then after that's taken care of, she moves on to the loose ends and sends Ghost, Yelena, US Agent, and Taskmaster out to her vault in the desert to take each other out. Task is the only one who doesn't make it out though, as they find Bob and escape. They make it out of the facility, but then Bob tries to save the days he's left behind, thought to be dead, while the team escapes into the desert. That's where Alexei finds them before the limo and the ox trucks are attacked by Bucky. But Bob didn't actually die, and so he's with Val now at Avengers Tower, which she bought, and she's nurturing him to be her all-powerful weapon. That doesn't work, of course, because you can't just give a meth head the powers of a god, but Val, she's a politician. That part's never been truer either when she hits the kill switch she built into Bob, which ultimately unleashes the void. It plays God, but Yelena, having connected with Bob immediately in the movie, dives in headfirst while the team clears Park Avenue. Once they finish that, they head into the void too as they get Bob out of there, defeating the void by proving to Bob that he's not alone. If you've read the New Avengers comic run from the early 2000s, it's very similar to how Emma Frost goes into his head and stops the void. I love this adaptation of Bob, Sentry, the Void, but the movie closes as Val takes credit, playing politician again, for putting this team together to stop the threat of the Void that she created, and she declares them the new Avengers. Then we've got the two credit scenes, which were mostly for fun, but closed on a note that I think is way more important than this team simply arriving on Earth 616. But first, a mid-credit scene where Red Guardian gets to live his dream just sitting in the grocery aisle, waiting for people to go past his Wheaties box, which hasn't quite made him the superstar that he was probably expecting to become, but he's still got that little kitty toy. Then there's the important scene as the new Avengers return to the tower from a mission. Bucky mentions that Sam is forming a new team that he's going to call the Avengers, and then we see their alert system pick up the Fantastic Four ship arriving on our Earth. Now, for some that might have just been a cool scene, but for me, it told me exactly what I needed to know about Doomsday. The ship is detected as a threat, and so I think Doom is going to be able to come into 616 and manipulate the Thunderbolt Avengers into fighting Sam's Avengers, kind of like a Civil War II inside of Doomsday, until they have to team up to fight another Earth's heroes, the Fox X-Men, during an incursion, or even Doom himself, whatever threat he may be proving. Alright, with that out of the way, I want to wrap things up with just a quick review for the movie, diving into a couple of things like my favorite cast members from our new team of heroes and a couple of the visual design choices in the movie. Starting with the cast, our main five that we spend most of the movie with had incredible chemistry. You could feel it the most, in my opinion, with their comedic timing as they bounce so well off of each other, and that really helps in like the first hour to build up towards the end of the movie, because without the comedy and the laughs and the joy in the beginning with this group, the end means nothing, as Jake Schreier, the director, deserves some credit for that too. He directed a hell of a movie here. But I do have a standout from the main five, and that would be David Harbour. He stole the show for me as Alexei gets back into his groove and is on top of the world. He had me and my entire theater dying laughing every damn chance he got, and he was just so much fun in this movie. However, there was one cast member that I felt got the short end of the stick, and that was Riot Russell. Now, US Agent's portion of the story is good. I liked what they did for the character. I just didn't feel like the movie utilized Wyatt the actor as much as it could have. Then I've got two quick notes on the visuals, both being about Sentry's powers. One being carried over from Eternals, as Marvel once again brought super speed to the big screen in the best way possible. No slow-mo, no bullshit, just pure speed. Now, there were a few moments, like count on one hand a few, where the VFX were shaky, not bad, just shaky, but it was so good overall. Finally, the shadows were just brilliant, having it so that the void traps people inside their own mind, and then physically, in these shadows, then just preys on their deepest, darkest memories is a terrifying threat. It takes a movie with a man made god who dyes his hair and a team of B list anti heroes and turns it into a great, grounded, emotional story. And so that's going to do it for my Thunderbolts recap and review. This one lands at a 9 out of 10 in my books, easily moving into my MCU top 10, and I can't wait to see these guys back in Doomsday. But I want to know what you guys thought about the movie and all the theories that you have after it, so drop all that down in the comments below and make sure you have a great day.